There's one young man from Benue, I think that's his name. I don't want to call his name, who is supposedly heavily into prayer. I think he was in Benin City and made a statement. I roared on my bed and said, the mantle of Archbishop Idahosa is in heaven. God told him. That's a lie. That is not God's nature to withhold. God does not withhold. For Elisha to go to heaven with the anointing, he had to duplicate that oil on 3 vessels. The question why I reacted in Benin here and said, if any man tell you the mantle of Idahosa is with him, he said, like God told him he's in heaven. What will God be doing with the mantle of Idahosa in heaven when there's crisis on earth, crisis in Russia, crisis in Nigeria, crisis in Ghana? The mantle is for work. I know where the mantle of Idahosa is. If you go to Canaan land, you will see the mantle of Idahosa. I know where the mantle of Idahosa is. When you see Pastor Chris Oyakhilome, I see the mantle of Idahosa. I know where the mantle of Idahosa is. Go to Uganda, Robert Kayanja, the mantle of Idahosa is there. I know where the mantle of Idahosa is. Go to Ghana, Archbishop Duncan William. I know where the mantle of Idahosa is. At Jinasare in Ghana, I know where the mantle of Idahosa is. Go to Dunamis, I know where the mantle of Idahosa is. Go to Salvation, I know where the mantle of Ida is. Then come to Benin City. Nicodemus said, no man can do this. Hey, I know where the mantle of the Archbishop is. Distributed in different regions. I know where the mantle of Archbishop is. Can I tell you something? Some men of God are bitter, angry, wounded. You can see it in their administration. What is the mantle of Archbishop doing in heaven? That's not the nature of God. Can I say one more thing? Do you know why I brought up this matter? Can I tell you something? Jesus said, greater works. Now, don't allow anybody deceive you that what God did before cannot be done again in double dimension. That's the message. Because by the time they tell you that the mantle is in heaven, you become demoralized. It now look as if God has stopped moving. No. God is still moving. Much more. Much more. Much more. The Archbishop Benson Idahosa is my greatest influence in ministry. I love him with passion. I love my mother with passion. But I believe that God does not lead backward. Every move of God is an improvement on the former. Can I tell you 2 characteristics of the mantle of Idahosa? Should I tell you? Number 1 is love. Somebody told me. He said, if Papa was on ground to see you do what you are doing, he will stand by you. Just like the Archbishop is standing by me. He said, Papa, a young man like you? No. If you don't have love, that mantle cannot work. Because one of the things I saw as I studied the Archbishop Benson Andrew Idahosa was love. Is there any preacher who was wounded and hurt like the Archbishop? None. But yet, he was a quick forgiver. 2 elements. You want God to use you. The mantle to fall heavily upon you. 3 things must happen in your life. Number 1, you must be a lover of people. In Matthew chapter 14 and verse 14, now Jesus went forth and saw a great multitude and was moved, hear this, with that genuine compassion. The mantle cannot walk. The mantle cannot walk on a bitter pastor. A man of God that in 2 minutes ridiculed the work of another man. You just make a mockery of somebody's labor. You can't flow in this mantle, sir. Papa comes to your church uninvited. Because when people are talking about the mantle of the Archbishop, I ask, which one are they talking about? The Archbishop was full of compassion and love. Even when people made mistakes, he didn't throw them out. It's from the Archbishop I heard that it's only in the kingdom that wounded soldiers are neglected. He said, but in the world, they are treated and prepared for more battle. I heard that from statement made by the Archbishop. So if you are looking for the mantle of the Archbishop, these are the requirements. You can't walk in unforgiveness, sir, and see the anointing flow. You can't. In bitterness, when some of these people talk, you see bitterness. As if to serve, it's a war. This one is of God. This one is not of God. God does not have referee. Then they say, man, you said you have withdrawn grace. Do you have grace? You know, when people make some statements that they don't have the authority to make, you withdraw grace. Abba. You can withdraw grace. I know you know where I'm going now. Oh, you can release and withdraw. If the Archbishop Mama Idahosa is praying for you, you see the prayer coming from here. You don't need to tell her what brought you. Her prayer will touch everything. That's why things are working. You see love. All the pastors that are here, listen. You have read Bible, you are still reading. That's not the key. Walk in love. Release people from your heart. Release people. Do you know what Paul said about me? Do you know what Paul have done to me? Ask people who walk with me. Ask them. Ask them. I can't be offended. Oh my God, I trust in you. Let me not be ashamed of my enemies. Move over.